Doug, who do you think is going to be the key tonight? We saw such a great game. Big Kevin Thompson beating Jaguars over the hump last night. Matt KATTMAN back in after some injuries and Yale and not being able to play a whole lot. He struggled a little bit last night. I think we're going to get better games tonight out of KATTMAN.
Down and back. Down and back. Would you? Blocking you up here.
If we're going to see Jock try to fight it out underneath the board, that's another possibility. Can the Jaguars afford to fight down underneath the board and get into foul trouble? Are they that strong? Are they that deep in the bench? Doug, you think there's that? The Jaguars get into foul trouble. They have someone to start with. And Burns.
Oh, hey, so. Huh?
Now, isn't it?
I think it'll really be a problem. Obviously, a berth in the championship game is on the line, which would indicate a situation where you want to fire up. But I think the other factor is games played yesterday by these teams. Many of these teams hadn't played in the last 10 to 17 days since they had won their district championships, and it just took a little while to get the cobwebs out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Delta College Pioneer Gymnasium, home of the 1989 National Champion.
Not bad at all here on this Saturday night. Obviously, there's a lot to contend with as far as getting people to come out to the tournament, because you have, for example, right down the road, just about an hour and a half, the NCAA regional semifinals are being played. The Pistons are also at home tonight. The Red Wings are at home tonight. So tough competition as far as the sports fan dollar is concerned.
HQ and HQ Company from Flint and Saginaw, Michigan.
That's right. I was tempted to go to the Silverdome, but I'm glad I'm here.
Of Command Sergeant Major Richard Ellison.
We've got to now come to midcourt. We'll have our national anthem, so stay with us. WDAN, your news and information station, 1490 AM.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Western High School Band playing the national anthem under the direction of Tom Brokaw. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting five. The Jaguars of Danville Area Community College, Region 24, with a record of 20-11. Sophomore, 6'5", center, number 52, Jock Burns. Standing 6'2", guard from Mount Vernon, Indiana, number 22, Kevin Carlton. Standing 6'4", at guard, sophomore, number 33, Chuck Lester. Sophomore, 6'7", forward from Indianapolis, number 45, Matt KATTMAN. And wearing number 32, sophomore, 6'1", guard from Columbus, Kevin Johnson. John Spiza, the coach, and assisted by Nathan Howie. And now the starting five from the Owls of Prince George's Community College with an 18-12 record, representing Region 20. Wearing number 10, sophomore, 6'4", forward, Morris Mercer. Sophomore, 6'7", center from Landover, Maryland, number 45, Eric Payne. Sophomore, 6'4", forward from Washington, D.C., number 44, Price Williams. Freshman 5'10" guard from Arlington, Virginia, number 54, Sydney Winkler. And from the nation's capital, guard, number 25, 6-foot freshman Jimmy Walker.
And that's our starting lineups for tonight. Again,
Prince George is coached by John Wiley, assisted by Joel Deary.
Helping us out, Doug Burrow. Thank you, Doug. We'll even let you don't send on dots. Like that. Okay, Steve, we're ready to get things into gear. Starting off Dacc College tonight. If you don't know where that is, that's on the Saginaw area, Saginaw Lake. Right in,
Prince George
if you
is
live in
the home
Michigan,
team.
Steve, you can say by the bottom of the thumb area.
Well, that works unless you're a fan of the old White Sox player, Carlos May, who didn't have one.
All right.
Jaguars wearing their gold uniforms with a green and white trim. Prince George with a white jersey, but the North Carolina style pants, the Tar Heel blue and white trim. And the opening tip is controlled out of bounds. And they're saying it's Prince George's ball, as they'll be moving from our left to our right as we start play here this evening. For Prince George's, Morris Mercer bounces it in play to Jimmy Walker, who hands off to Sydney Winkler. Winkler, the standing dribble between the circles on the front court against Kevin Johnson, comes high right of the key, swings it left side, Morris Mercer. Mercer, foul line extended left, pressured by Chuck Laster, sends it top of the circle for Jimmy Walker. They swing it around to the right side and Sydney Winkler. 30 seconds on the shot clock, bounce past top of the circle. With it is Price Williams. To the left side, Jimmy Walker. Walker out top of the circle and Mercer. Mercer on the drive, gets fouled at the start of the drive by Chuck Laster. His first, the team's first. It'll be a common foul, Prince George's to inbound.
Well, Steve, you can see how tight they're
Chuck
playing.
Lester, first personal, Danville's team first.
That's what they're going to have to do, is stick with them for this whole ball game. They're not going to be able to sit back and relax and wait on the Owls in the zone.
Off the foul and off the inbound, it's Sydney Winkler out top of the circle against the Jaguars, and defense from Kevin Johnson. Here's a lob inside, slapped away, but saved by Price Williams. His 15-footer around and out. Rebound cleared by Jack Burns for Danville. Pushes it up the left side to Kevin Johnson. Long lob down low right. The layup up, shot block, rebound, foul up and in. Chuck Laster with the foul. It's 2-0 for Danville.
So important, Steve, as we saw the follow-up, and that's what it's going to take. Getting the boards. Jaguars did it very well last night, and they're going to have to hit it with even more intensity tonight. 1 minute gone, 2-0 Danville. Right wing three-point try, Morris Mercer. Off the iron, off the top of the board, and over the back. It's out of bounds to Danville. It almost looks like the intensity and the swing is going Danville's way so far early in the first half. They'll play it inbounds. It's Kevin Carlton up the right side. Around pressure into the front court. Down to the head of the key. Ball off the foot of Jimmy Walker. Sails over the end line, and it's out of bounds to Danville. What's going to be important tonight is seeing who takes the leadership role for the Jaguars. Will it be Carlton out front? Which one of the guards are really going to kick it into gear? Maybe Johnson. Off the inbounds, Kevin Carlton drives, scoops it up and in. He got it up over the outstretched hand of Eric Payne. And so Kevin Carlton with his first two, and it's 4-0 Danville.
Nearly 90 seconds gone in this first half of basketball. Sidney Winkler has it top of the key. Comes around, foul line extended right to the right baseline. His lean-in 15-footer off the back iron, no good. Jock Burns cleans the glass for Danville. Loses his footing, loses the ball. The layup is good by Sidney Winkler. And we've got bodies on the floor, and a foul's going to be called on the drive, I guess, on Kevin Johnson, but he can't believe it.
Well, although the size and height advantage goes to the Owls, and with Jock Burns under there, he has been a powerhouse here in 18 minutes, 27 seconds to go.
Jock Burns.
In the first half, Burns has been the man on the board.
Now some confusion. The foul is on Burns, but the Jaguars look like they wanted to inbound, but the foul is on Burns, his first, the team's second. So they could turn this into a 4-point play. Winkler, right baseline inbounds. Into the wing and Walker. His baseline right jumper from 15. Short with a shot. Rebound cleared by Laster for Danville. He'll spin it ahead to Kevin Johnson. Will walk it up over the line. Johnson met outside right by Winkler. Picks up the dribble. Swings it outside left for Chuck Laster. To the free throw line in KATTMAN. He gives to Carlton. Foul line extended left. Carlton holds on, gives it to Kevin Johnson outside left for three. Too long with a shot. Long rebound, though, collected by Laster for Danville. He loses, stolen away by Sidney Winkler. 2-on-1. Winkler to the hoop, lays it in.
To the hole, 54.
Sidney Winkler now with 4. We're tied at 4. Our first tie of the ball game.
Patience is an important factor here, Steve, in the first part of the ball game. We're going to see if the Jaguars go for the three-point shot. They did it last night, working 22. Carlton baseline, hitting three-pointers right and left.
Burns low right, cutting to the hoop, laying it up and in as Carlton counts the basket and draw the foul. I believe they're going to count the hoop. Let's wait. Yes, he does. Carlton with the basket. He's got 4. Danville regains the lead at 6-4.
Foul number 10.
You can see the excitement on Kevin Carlton's face. Intensity. This guy is so intense as he drove the lane when he made the shot, and he knew it was good, and it was going to be good.
So Carlton at the line with the opportunity for the three-point play. He'll throw it up and through. So Kevin Carlton hits the trifecta, and it's now a 7-4 advantage in favor of Danville. Sidney Winkler, the slow hip-high dribble from the right side as he comes over the timeline against pressure from Kevin Johnson. Swings it left side, tipped out of bounds by Carlton as he stepped in front of the intended receiver.
There goes Carlton again, Mr. Intensity and quick hands. He can get the feet moving. When he's moving, he's tough to get by on defense.
Jimmy Walker with the inbounds. He'll give to Price Williams, who hands to Sidney Winkler. Winkler head of the key against Johnson. They swing it, foul line extended right for Mercer. His pass inside, knocked away, but they're going to call an over-the-shoulder foul against Matt KATTMAN of Danville. His first, the team's third.
I can say, Steve, today, Matt KATTMAN is moving much better on that bad ankle. He had problems with earlier that put him out of the early games prior to the Jaguars getting here tonight, and he's moving very well tonight on that bad ankle.
Outside right, Morris Mercer drills the 3, and it's all even now. It's 7 apiece with 17 minutes left to play in the first half. Low dribble right to left, up the floor. Kevin Johnson has it for Danville. They swing it to the right side, and Kevin Carlton. Carlton on the wing, goes right of the lane on the pass to KATTMAN. Turn around from 10, around and in. Matt KATTMAN with his first 2. 9-7 the score. And now it's back to a 2-point Jaguar lead. Winkler yo-yos it out top of the circle, now drives right of the lane, shovel pass, tip but save for Prince George's by Morris Mercer. Mercer, head of the key against Laster, pulls up, swings the bounce pass to the right side. Here's Winkler with a 3-point try, up the front iron, no good. Eric Payne the rebound, banks it up and in. Eric Payne cashes in on the bank shot, and we're tied at 9.
What's so important, we're going to have to see KATTMAN and Laster get in there and hit the boards like they did last night, along with Jock Burns. Burns been the rebound man, but Laster...
Inside the paint, Kevin Johnson.
Johnson drives the lane, shoots the lead-in leaner from 10 and hits it. Kevin Johnson is first, and it's back to a 2-point lead for Danville at 11-9. Outside left, with it is Price Williams. Williams on the drive, cut off, and we got an offensive foul call as Price lowered the shoulder into Jock Burns, who takes the charge. The foul on Price Williams is his first, second team foul on Prince George's for the half.
Team 2.
15:59 to go in the first half, 11-9 the score.
It'll be an inline inbound for Matt KATTMAN, and he'll play it in for Kevin Johnson. Looks like Prince George's set back in a man-to-man, but they're not meeting Johnson until outside left. Defensive pressure from Jimmy Walker. Now he swings it to the right wing in Carlton. Kevin Carlton comes to the foul line on the dribble, picks up the bounce, swings the pass down low right for Burns. His shot blocked from behind by Eric Payne. Coming back the other way, Prince George's Morris Mercer left to the lane, pull up from 10, off the front of the iron and in. Morris Mercer with the hoop. He's got 5. We're tied at 11. Our 4th tie of the early going.
And Mercer brought the ball all the way down court from end to end, took the shot all by himself, worked it very well on the breakaway.
Foul line extended left, Kevin Carlton drives the lane, pulls up his 12-foot lead, and jumper is good. Kevin Carlton with 7, 13-11, back to a 2-point Jaguar advantage. Quickly at the other end, Jimmy Walker drives to left baseline. He's cut off. They send it outside left. The 3-point try is good. Bryce Williams hits the tray, and it's 14-13, and it's now a 1-point advantage for Prince George's.
And so clean. Williams can nail that three-pointer. You've got to keep your hand in his face. He will do it like he did last night with Lansing.
Kevin Johnson, left to right between the circles against pressure from Jimmy Walker. Bounce pass in the lane for Carlton. Carlton tries to lead it up the left side to Laster. It's knocked around. Finally saved for the Jaguars by Jock Burns, who lays it in. 15-14 now. Back to a 1-point Danville lead. 10 ties or lead changes here in the early going. Mercer in the lane, stripped to the ball nicely that time by Matt KATTMAN. Here comes Carlton the other way. It's a 3-on-4, so he'll peel back and wait for some help. Swings it outside right, Johnson. Dribbles to the wing, to the baseline. Now kicks it out, foul line jumper. KATTMAN open, drains it. Matt KATTMAN has 4, 17-14. Danville up by 3. 14-10 remaining in the first half on the turning clock. Sidney Winkler, one-on-one up the floor. Comes foul line extended right with a pass to Mercer. Mercer bounces it out top. Winkler with a toe on the line, shoots the 2. It's off the heel of the hoop, no good. Rebound battle for the 4. Jimmy Walker has it. Right baseline, rainbow jumper is good. Jimmy Walker is first 2. 17-16, that brings Prince George's back to within 1.
You can see Carlton and Laster both had a chance to get that ball in the rebound. They were both fighting for it. The ball was taken away as they both knocked it out, and they almost got it back, leading to the shot.
Kevin Johnson, good bounce lead underneath for Jock Burns. He's fouled going up for the shot. So Jock Burns will go to the line to shoot 2, but credit Carlton with a great bounce lead. And the foul underneath is going to be on Bryce Williams. That's his second, 13 foul on Prince George's. Substitution, Chuck Laster comes out, and into the Danville lineup is Severin Gurnell. He is a 6'5 sophomore out of Indianapolis.
Steve, where the Jaguars got into trouble last night is when they got all packed in underneath the paint, and they didn't spread the game out. We saw it a couple plays ago where the Jaguars got too tight inside, tried to get the handoff with the bounce pass, and it just didn't work. The Jaguars, keep it spread out a little bit, it's going to work in their favor.
Burns hits the first. It's 18-16 now, Danville. They'll try to make it 3, and he does. But Jock Burns with 4 points, and it's a 3-point Danville lead at 19-16. Left to right into the front court comes Sidney Winkler, met by Kevin Johnson. Winkler dribbles left side, dribbles down into the left corner. Right there on him, though, is Johnson. He'll try the turnaround. Good, just inside the arc. Tough shot. But Sidney Winkler got it to go. He's got 6. 19-18 now, and that will bring Prince George's back to within 1 again. Johnson comes to the top of the key for Danville. To the foul line, stops, swings it outside left. Here's KATTMAN out to the right side. Faking the 3 is Carlton. In the lane, pulls up from 10 and hits it. Good penetration by Kevin Carlton. He drew the defense out a little bit with the fake of the 3 and then took it to the hoop. Kevin Carlton with 9. 21-18, and now it's back to a 3-point Danville lead as we're under 13 minutes for the first half. Winkler around the defensive man, lobs it underneath. It's picked up, though. Good heads-up play defensively by Severin Gurnell. Back the other way comes Kevin Johnson in the lane. Lead in from 13 out the front of the iron. Tipped up and in by Matt KATTMAN. He got position underneath. 23-18. Danville by 5, their biggest lead of the ball game. Outside right, Walker tries to answer with a 3. It's too strong. Rebound, Winkler off the glass. No good, but he draws the foul. It'll be on Kevin Johnson, his first, the team's 4th.
What's so important, Steve, as you can see, Matt KATTMAN is kicked into gear, playing twice the ball game that he played last night. Ever so important because you really need the height. When he's 6'7", 200-pound sophomore, you just can't get the height. And he is really
personal, team 4.
Jock Burns getting a breather.
Sidney Winkler on the line.
Matt Steisley checking in, a 6'6 freshman. As Winkler's free throw is good.
Steve, also important to note, if you see the 2 guards up there for the Jaguars, Kevin Carlton and Kevin Johnson, almost a mirror image when these guys go on offense and defense. Intensity to the max.
Winkler was 7, looking for his 8th point of the night. It's in and out. Rebound controlled by KATTMAN. And now back comes Danville with a ball and a 4-point lead. On the trot with a hip-high right-handed dribble is Kevin Johnson. Comes down to the top of the key. Swings it to the left side in CARLTON. CARLTON wide left. Jump pass underneath. Nobody there. It's out of bounds over the end line and belongs to Prince George's.
So yeah, Kevin CARLTON plays, like I said, so intense. He was so upset with himself when he threw that ball out. I thought he might even made it over there to catch it before it went out of bounds.
That's fast. Winkler into the front court. Pulls up foul line, extended right. Now comes down to the corner. Maintains the dribble. Now picks up the bounce against a double team. Tries to fire it through some arms, but it's knocked down by Danville's Matt KATTMAN. And we got a whistle as the ball goes back over the end line, but it belongs to the Jaguars. And into the scorer's table comes Big Scott Stewart for Prince George's, the 6'6", 235-pounder, and I think the 235 is being gracious. He'll come in at the next opportunity. Kevin Johnson inside the lane, the half hook by Sizley, and they're going to call the goaltending. Credit Sizley with a hoop, his first 2. Danville's been able to spread it around. 6 different players have scored. Now they have the 6-point lead at 25-19, their biggest.
Well, now, Steve, when we see Big Scott Stewart come into the game, the 6'6", 235-pound freshman, it's going to be interesting to see what role and how they use him. Are they going to work him with a pick and roll on offense? Or is he a power man underneath the board?
Substitution as Matt KATTMAN checks out of the lineup, and into the game comes George Habenick, who is a 6'5", 200-pound sophomore from Seymour, Indiana. Foul line extended right. Morris Mercer bounces into the lane. We got a whistle and a foul as Habenick was all over the back of Eric Payne as the ball came into Payne. That'll be George's first foul. 15 foul on Danville.
Foul number 34.
You know, I really like the way Scott Stewart, he's up front playing the point. Yeah, when he bounces the basketball, you feel it up here.
Worried about it might deflating. Here's Mercer in the right corner, spinning on CARLTON. Tries to fight his way through a double team. Can't. They kick it out to Stewart. His 3-point try. Showed off the front iron. Rebound cleared by Gurnell for Danville. Ahead for CARLTON. Kevin CARLTON comes to the head of the circle and now peels it back. Outside left, Kevin Johnson holding. Johnson against Stewart. In the lane. Pull up from 14. Yes! Kevin Johnson has scored. And it's an 8-point Danville lead. Their biggest at 27-19. Left baseline drive. Jimmy Walker tries to drop it off, but nobody's there. But Kevin Johnson, long lead up the floor, tracked down by Sizley. Count the hoop, and there's a foul away from the ball after the shot, though, against George Habenick. They're going to count the hoop, though, for Matt Sizley.
And you can see Sizley into the ball game. I don't know, Steve, we're going to see how these dropping 2 times down the court. He's been open baseline. We'll see if they go with the half-court pass. It's possible, and it's been there where he could make a backdoor move.
Foul on Habenick, his second 16th foul. CARLTON checks out, so does Gurnell for the Jaguars. And it'll be Scott Stewart bringing up the floor for Prince George's. Has it outside right of the key, comes to the foul line on the drive, tries to fire it underneath, but it's off the fingertips of Vincent Smith, who is checked in. And it's out of bounds to Danville. Vincent Smith, a 6'3", 205-pound sophomore from Fort Washington, Maryland. Calling out the play as he brings it up is Kevin Johnson to the top of the circle, spins down left the lane, stops, leaning 13-footer off the front iron, and it bounces in. Kevin Johnson with a friendly roll, and it's 31-19, a 12-point Danville lead. The Jaguars impressive so far in the first half. Stewart, high right against Sizley. Comes foul line extended right. Jump lob down underneath. Poked away nicely that time by Chuck Laster and taken out of the air by Johnson. Here comes Kevin Johnson to the top of the circle. Spins on his man. Stewart fires it in the lane. Here's Sizley. Loses control of the ball. It's tipped around and finally winds up into the arms of Vincent Smith for Prince George's. Ahead for Scott Stewart. Stewart behind the back dribble. Picks up the bounce. Lobs it in the lane. And off the hands of Vincent Smith again. And it's out of bounds to Danville.
Well, the Owls just can't seem to get a handle on that pass underneath, sliding through the lane. 2 in a row turned over. But what is so interesting is seeing a 6'6", 200, like you said, probably being gracious, 235-pound freshman taking the point duty.
I guarantee you, if he starts at the head of the key and tries to drive to the hoop, I'm not going to stand in the way to take the charge. Kevin Johnson with a slow walk into the front court between the rings. Comes to the left side on a bounce pass. On the drive, Laster. His pass underneath, tipped around, but saved for Danville by Habenick. Now he'll get it outside left to Kevin Johnson. Johnson against Jimmy Walker. Maintains the bounce. Now hook pass in the lane for Habenick. He'll drive in. Throws it off the glass. No. Tipped up and in by Jack Burns. Good tip with the left hand from the weak side. And it's now a 14-point lead for Danville at 33-19.
So important, Steve. Burns was in there, and he had position.
Stewart. Quick pass to the right side and Walker. Jimmy Walker, foul line extended right against Kevin Johnson. Bounce pass nearly gets away, but Stewart saves for the Owls. He'll back out the dribble and set it up against pressure from Jock Burns. Shot clock at 22. He'll come around, try to use a screen set by Eric Payne. Spins back to the foul line. His jumper off the rim, the glass and out, and a whistle and a foul on the rebound. And it's going to be on Eric Payne, I believe, of Prince George's. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Owls. Oh, double foul. They're going to call also
first personal.
a foul on Danville.
4th team foul. Double foul, 35, Kevin Whiteman. First personal, team 7.
Arrow in Danville's favor. And so now an opportunity for the Jaguars to extend what is already their biggest lead of the ball game of 14 points as we just move under the 9-minute mark left to play in the first half. Top of the circle, Kevin Whiteman, who had picked up that foul. Passed into the right corner for Habenick. Now low post left for Burns. Lobs the pass back outside right to Claudius Garland, who has checked in. Now to the right wing and Jack Burns. Burns drives the right baseline, stops as his path is cut off. They swing it into the foul line, and Laster, his jumper is good. Good ball movement by the Jaguars to find the open man, and it's Chuck Laster. He's got 4, and it's now a 16-point advantage for Danville.
Moving the ball so quickly, but with great patience.
Outside left, Stewart, the NBA 3 comes up short. Rebound tipped around. Payne had it, lost it. Walker picks it up. Bank no. Rebound follow Payne. He can't find the layup, and the rebound off the floor is picked up by George Habenick for Danville. Here come the Jaguars on the run. Garland on the give and go. Gets it back and misses the layup. Good give and go with Chuck Laster, but he couldn't get the lay-in to fall as he tried to shoot it straight in instead of using the glass. Stewart outside left in the front court for Prince George's. Swings it to the left baseline. On the drive, the scoop shot up. Shot is blocked by Burns, I believe, or Laster, and Burns comes up with it. As on the drive was Eric Payne, but he couldn't find an opening. Here's the left corner, 18-footer on the way. Whiteman misses the shot. Rebound loose on the floor. Habenick picks it up. His shot's partially blocked by Payne. Ball being volleyball around, tipped out of bounds, and finally it belongs to Danville.
That's what's important. You can see the hands are going. Jaguars are not giving up on the ball last night. When it came down last night a couple times, the Jaguars started going back down court. This time they're staying there. They're staying with the focus. They're going for the ball and actually going for the hands. Jaguars.
And we got a timeout taken by Danville with 7:37 left to play here in the first half. The score is Danville 35, Prince George's 19. You're listening to Danville Basketball on your news and information station, WDAN. We'll be back after this timeout.
You know this stuff. Just 30-second breaks. We're back into action. This is Kurt Damrow along with Steve Clucky, and I'll tell you what, Steve, what a game. The Jaguars playing twice the game they played last night, but it's going to take that to stay with the Owls, and they're on top of the Owls right now.
Well, they are really on a run right now, as it's 35-19, a 6-point spread. I believe, if I recall correctly, this is a 12-0 run for the Danville Jaguars right now.
7:37 to go in the first half. 35-19 the score. We're back into action.
It'll be a right baseline inbound in the front court for Claudius Garland. Looking, he'll bounce it in, play to Kevin Carlton in the right corner. He'll bounce it underneath for Jock Burns. His half hook, no good, gets his own miss. Fouls it off the glass, no, tips up and in, and I think one of the Prince George's players tipped it in, Tijuan McClure. Here's a drive, Walker, left baseline, the 10-foot jumper on the way by Jeff Farmer, no good, but it's rebounded by Jack Burns. Here comes Danville, long lead, up ahead for KATTMAN. It's over his head and out of the bounds over the end line.
But earlier, before the timeout, Steve, that was open on the other side. Only, I believe, it was DeSicely who was open on this side. Now they're trying to go KATTMAN on